Every single day, billions of dollars change hands. And it's not because of like superior products. It's because someone used the exact right sequence of, aggressive, almost predatory vocabulary.
Right, the hidden language of the hustle.
Exactly. So welcome to today's deep dive. We are decoding this language from a fascinating career guide today.
Yeah, and we're really focusing on mastering these terms. I mean, understanding not just the definitions, but the psychological weight, their direct opposites, and even how to pronounce them so you can sound like an absolute insider.
Right, because understanding how this vocabulary lives and breathes in the real world gives you a massive advantage. And we're tracking this through two specific career stories today. We've got Carl, who is grinding it out in sales, and Tina, navigating the boardroom.
Well, let's start with Carl.
Yeah, let's look at the very beginning of that life cycle, the first pitch. The source highlights his entry into telesales, starting with, cold calling.
Right, cold calling.
And you have to really hit the consonants on that to get the feeling right. Cold calling. It's a crisp phrase for a really brutal practice. It's basically like showing up uninvited to a dinner party and trying to sell the host a vacuum.
That is such a good analogy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pure interruption. You are demanding attention from someone who hasn't asked for it at all.
Yeah.
And the default tactic for novices in that scenario is the hard sell, which just means being extremely forceful. It's an attempt to brute force a transaction through sheer pressure.
Which is exactly why it rarely works. I mean, to actually succeed, Carl had to shift his whole strategy. He had to learn how to persuade customers to, quote, part with their money.
Yeah, that phrasing is so specific.
It is. It implies this gentle psychological separation between the consumer and their cash.
Yeah.
Easing the friction.
Yeah.
Which is so different from his next move, which was selling merchandise on TV.
Oh, totally. Because with a TV shopping network, all that friction just vanishes. You move from the push of a cold call to the pull of destination shopping. The audience is already there to buy.
Right. They're ready to go.
Exactly. Merchandise isn't just inventory here. It's curated product perfectly matched to consumer leisure.
So once you stop interrupting people, you can actually start leveraging their purchasing power at scale.
Right.
And the most interesting mechanism businesses use to capture that purchasing power is the loss leader.
Oh, I love this one. It's essentially a retail Trojan horse.
Okay, wait, let's unpack this because I have to push back a little. A loss leader means deliberately selling an item below what it costs to make.
Yeah.
Isn't that just bad business? Like, if everyone only buys the cheap item, you're bankrupt.
Well, it seems disastrous if you only look at that one item, sure. But you have to look at the larger ecosystem. You take a strategic hit by letting that cheap item through the gates just to capture the customer.
Oh, so then they buy the profitable stuff once they're inside.
Exactly. The high-margin items sneak in right behind it. You're capturing traffic to force a very specific behavior, which is trading up.
Trading up, meaning buying something of higher value.
Right. And the expert text specifically contrasts this with its direct opposite, to trade down, which is what a consumer does defensively when economic pressure forces them to retreat to a lower value substitute.
You see this trading up dynamic play out so intensely at auctions when products go under the hammer.
Ah, that imagery is so vivid.
It really is. The gavel slamming down, the highest bidder winning. It's pure real-time psychological pressure forcing people to trade up.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, those same micro levers apply on a macro level, like when you're trying to sell an entire company.
Which brings us to the boardroom buyout,
Okay.
the final stage of our deal life cycle. The text uses Tina's software business to show what happens when a company becomes highly lucrative.
Lucrative, producing a lot of money.
Yes, it's such a rich-sounding word. But high profit margins inevitably attract red tape. And red tape is like being tangled in endless administrative webs. It's actual friction that stalls growth.
And that friction often makes a founders eager for an exit strategy. But here is where the language of business gets dangerously subtle. When a larger corporation approaches a smaller one, they often use the term merger.
Right, a merger, where two companies join to become one. But the text contrasts that with a takeover. So a merger is really just a polite PR mask, right?
Oh, absolutely. It appeases a founder's ego during what is functionally a takeover. A takeover is consumption. One company assumes total control.
Right.
The source actually uses the phrase swallowed up, which perfectly captures the aggressive reality hiding behind the corporate polish.
But even in a takeover, they still have to hammer out a deal. There is that violent imagery again. They don't just sign a paper. They violently forge an agreement through friction until they reach a compromise.
Right. Structurally, both sides have to take a strategic loss on their demands to unlock a larger capital gain. It shows us that business vocabulary isn't just empty jargon.
No, not at all.
It's the operating code of the market. When you understand the mechanics behind the words, you see the machinery actually turning.
We've really tracked the whole life cycle today.
Yeah.
I mean, you've just upgraded your vocabulary from the cold calling front lines to lucrative boardroom takeovers.
You really have.
So I'll leave you with this final thought to mull over. If an analyst were writing a textbook about your current career path, which of these idioms would define your chapter right now? Are you currently trading up, or are you in danger of being swallowed up?